Okay, Jackass 3.5. I saw this on MTV, so of course they blurred out the majority of the nudity, which I'm fine with. I was a huge fan when this show came out, initially. I thought the first one was great, because you got to see essentially the same thing you saw in a half an hour format, but in a much broader aspect, because also they had a fairly large budget. When I saw the sequel, Jackass 2, I remember seeing this in a theater, and a guy who was in a row behind me stood up, was laughing so hard that he fell into my row. And a guy brought his girlfriend, who I thought was going to, like Superman, heat vision through the side of his brain. So then we get 3.5. This one has some more of the director's cuts added to it. You can tell in a lot of ways they kind of ran out of bits. You know, they ended up doing two that pretty much involved the buttocks and a sex toy. And you're kind of like, eh. Did we just see this like half an hour ago in this movie? Why did they... So they went from like a rocket to a bazooka. Oh, okay. And of course Pontius and his member being abused somehow. Ironically, the funniest parts of this film by far had to be they were showing Bam Margera and Ryan Dunn sitting in director's chairs. And Bam's chair, he kept on falling over because he didn't know how to sit in it properly. So as they're doing their little commentaries, they keep on going back and forth, and his chair is just more and more disheveled and breaking apart. So they're trying to have a conversation while his chair is breaking. And it actually seemed to be one of the funnier sequences. And it was like... Another thing that made this actually fairly watchable is they actually had it's a Fanta camera? It's a camera that allows you to do really, really super slow motion. So whenever they showed me getting punched in the face, instead of being just the punch, it was the slow motion fist, you know, all the skin moving and all that. That made for some really interesting shots. Especially when they're doing things like smack somebody in the face with a giant fish. Or trying to see if someone can do a running drop kick. You know, those things in slow motion just looked fantastic. Some of the other jokes were kind of meh. You really could kind of tell it seems like they had lost a lot of really great ideas. Even though I will say watching Steve-O run a gauntlet of fire while covered in the flame-resistant gel and then fall onto a burning hot metal surface, you kind of go, ooh, that's just kind of nasty. So, you know, the first one was nice to see the progressions. These people actually get, you know, a decent amount of money. The sequel definitely is where they did their most off-the-wall and insane, crazy stunts. And the third one, you could kind of tell that, you know, they had enough things to make a movie, but some of the ideas they kind of began to somewhat run a little bit thin on.